In the winter of 1919, Boston found itself facing an unusual and disastrous situation. On January 15th, the city was struck by one of the most peculiar incidents in its history, the Molasses Flood. This sticky mess not only left the streets of Boston inundated with a gooey substance, but also claimed the lives of 21 innocent people and caused significant damage to nearby structures. To truly understand the gravity of this event, it is important to examine the circumstances surrounding it. The scenario leading up to the Molasses Flood can be traced back to the United States Industrial Alcohol Company. Located in the north end of Boston, the company had constructed a massive tank to hold the molasses used in the production of industrial alcohol, a substance in high demand during the Prohibition era. This enormous structure, known as the Purity Distilling Company tank, stood an imposing 50 feet tall and held a staggering 2.3 million gallons of molasses. Tragedy struck when, on that fateful day in January, the tank burst open with an explosion, releasing a monstrous wave of molasses estimated to be 15 to 40 feet high. The wave surged through the streets at an astonishing speed, swallowing everything in its path. Buildings were swept off their foundations, vehicles were overturned, and people were engulfed by the viscous tide. The force of the wave was so immense that it even managed to knock a train off its tracks. The aftermath of the Molasses Flood was a scene of devastation and despair. Rescuers rushed to the affected area, desperately searching for survivors amidst the sticky mess. The molasses, now hardened and congealed, made rescue efforts incredibly difficult and cumbersome. It took weeks to clean up the streets, with workers using hot water to melt the stubborn molasses and tanks of salt water to rinse away the residue. The city of Boston itself mourned the loss of the victims, and the incident became etched in their collective memory. Investigations into the cause of the disaster revealed several factors that contributed to the catastrophic failure of the molasses tank. The unusually warm temperatures in the days leading up to the incident caused the molasses inside the tank to expand, exerting immense pressure on the already weakened structure. Additionally, the tank had been poorly constructed and filled too quickly, further compromising its integrity. As a result, a tragedy of sticky proportions unfolded, forever altering the history of Boston.